Sworn outside your presence. You may proceed when you're ready, Mr. Turner.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would you introduce yourself to the jury, please?
Yes, I'm Myra Landry.
And Ms. Landry, what do you do for a living?
I'm a 911 communications supervisor
How long have you been a 911 communications supervisor?
for 11 years.
And who do you work with?
Uvalde Police Department.
Has that been for the past 11 years?
No, it's been for the past 17 years.
Excuse me?
17 years?
Okay, so before you were the 911 communications supervisor, you had another job with the police department?
Yes, I was a 911 dispatcher.
A dispatcher?
Yes.
Okay. So you worked your way up from dispatcher to supervisor?
Yes, sir.
So let's start at the very beginning then. What is a 911 dispatcher?
It's a 911 emergency call taker that I guess it can be different. Every agency is different, but they assist with taking 911 calls or non-emergency calls, and they also route officers to calls for service.
Okay. So they can get 911 calls in, and then they can tell officers where to go.
Correct.
And do you have to be certified to work in the 911 office?
Correct. Yes.
And tell us about the certification.
Within a year of your employment with an agency, you would have to attend a 2-week training in order for you to get your license to be a 911 dispatcher.
And what is the training for a dispatcher like?
I mean, you have to attend several trainings for it as far as like what to do as far as like entering anything in the system or, radio etiquette or anything like that.
Okay. Let's start with the dispatch room in Uvalde for the Uvalde Police Department.
Okay.
Could you describe the room for us and how it is equipped?
So the room it's small. We have a total of 3 consoles. However, only 2 are fully equipped with 911 and radio.
Okay, so it has 3 consoles. And what is a console?
It's just a workstation for a 911 dispatcher.
So you have 3 places for dispatchers to sit.
Correct.
And that's called the console?
Correct.
And how is the console equipped?
It has about 6 monitors. On each monitor, it has different softwares for different agencies that we dispatch for.
And so by monitor, are we talking about something like a small screen, a small TV screen or
Yes.
something like that?
A computer monitor.
And there's 6 in each console?
Correct.
And does each console have a different 6 screens? Or are they the same screens, just 3 times?
No, it's I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're trying to say.
That's because it was a horrible question. You have 3 consoles. Each console has 6 screens.
Mm-hmm.
Are those screens for each person sitting in the console identical?
No, except for the 2 on top, which are designated for 911 only.
Okay. So tell us then what each screen is dedicated to, if it is.
So we have 2 that are dedicated for 911. One of them shows the 911 maps, and the other one just shows where the call is coming from, the call information. The other 4 we each individually have for 2 of them are usually for the main agencies that we dispatch for. Their CAD program, which is just a program on where we type in the calls for service.
Okay. So the top 2, I want to start with that then. The top 2 screens are dedicated exclusively to 911 calls.
Correct.
So as you can see where the call is coming from, as well as a map of it. Is that correct?
Correct.
And do you record 911 calls?
Yes.
And are those recordings done automatically?
Yes.
And are they done by an instrument that also attaches a time to that recording?
Yes.
And so that if we wanted to recover a 911 call and went back, we could not only recover the contents of the call, but we could also recover what time that call came according to what the machine attached to that number.
Correct.
And it is somewhat accurate, at least within minutes, is that correct?
Yes.
But maybe not milliseconds.
Correct.
Okay. And so now we've covered the 911 calls, and then there's 4 other screens, is that correct? Describe what those are for.
Like I mentioned earlier, 2 of them are set for the 2 major agencies that we dispatch for.
How many agencies do you dispatch for?
Total, we dispatch for 17 agencies.
17 agencies out of Uvalde.
Yes.
Could you tell us just in general terms, are all of those agencies law enforcement?
Most of them, yes, including EMS and fire.
So you have law enforcement, EMS, which is emergency medical,
Yes,
and the fire department.
correct.
Are there any other purposes for the dispatch consoles or screens?
Designated for them? No.
Okay. And so out of the city of Uvalde, you dispatch not only for the city police,
Correct.
you also dispatch for the sheriff's office,
Correct.
the school district,
Yes.
and who else?
Sometimes, if needed, we will dispatch for DPS, Texas Department of Public Safety, and then the surrounding little cities that we have in Uvalde.
So you reach out and help other smaller communities.
Correct.
Okay. And as far as the dispatch consoles, those differ from a 911 call?
Yes.
Tell us how it differs.
I'm sorry. You said say that one more time?
The dispatch consoles are different from the 911?
Yes, I guess you could say, yeah.
I guess describe for us what these 4 screens show a dispatcher.
So the 4 screens, one of the screen is for a program that we do call for service, and that's for the Uvalde Police Department, and then some of like the smaller entities that we dispatch for, and then the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office has their own software that we do calls for service for on another screen. And the other 2, we just have either, our daily email up or, just for, or the recording system is also up too as well, just in case we need it to replay something.
And so if a call comes in, whether from 911 or from dispatch, is the dispatcher then able to direct services to what is needed?
Yes.
Tell us how that works.
As far as like when we receive a call, or?
Let's start with a 911 call. It comes in.
Correct.
The dispatcher can talk on that 911 call, and it's recorded.
Yes.
And if it's a call for service for police department or fire, tell us what the dispatcher does.
The dispatcher would get the call information from the caller who's calling it in. We would do a call for service, which is, and then we would just type out the address, and depending on the, jurisdiction, whether it's city or county, we would dispatch who needed to be responding to that location.
And when you dispatch, does it go out to all of the agencies that you serve?
Not necessarily. Again,
Tell
it
us
just
about
depends
that.
on the jurisdiction.
I'm sorry?
Again, it just depends on the jurisdiction.
And so if you have a call that just needs to go to EMS, you can direct the call just to the radios that are tuned to that channel? Is that
Correct.
correct?
Yes.
And if you want it to go out to more than one agency, how do you do that?
We would just, there's a thing that we could do which is called a patch, and we can patch 2 channels together so the way that the same information can go out. But we only do that if it's like something that all agencies are going to be responding to, maybe. But if not, then we would just broadcast on each individual channel.
And then each agency has their own channel?
For the most part, yes, but it's just mainly, we have, Uvalde Police Department has their own channel, but there's a separate channel which the Sheriff's Office is, and that's where a lot of the other agencies communicate with dispatch with.
Okay. And so the radios that the police officers have, are they allowed to change channels and listen to other agencies?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just a matter of tuning to a channel y'all can choose to dispatch to one channel, but anybody can choose to pick up that channel.
Correct.
Okay. So we've talked about then a 911 calling in, and then dispatch can send somebody to that area, correct?
Yes.
And in addition to that, can police officers talk to dispatch?
Yes.
And how does that occur?
Just the way we would dispatch a call for service out for them through the radio.
Okay. And so it just comes in on a different screen is the only difference?
No, it'll be on the same screen, the same radio that we communicate with them on.
Okay. And when a police officer dispatches or sends information to dispatch, can his fellow officers also hear that?
Yes, if they are on the same channel or not scanning.
Okay. But if you're on a different agency, it just may depend on if you're on that channel or not.
Correct.
Now, in addition to 911 calls being recorded and the time recorded on that, are dispatch calls also recorded?
The non-emergency lines?
Yes.
Yes.
And on those emergency dispatches, does the recording instrument also attach a time that it came in?
Correct.
And once again, close within minutes, but perhaps not seconds or
Yes, sir.
milliseconds.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And so how many dispatchers do you have working at one time?
Right now it's 2.
And back in 2022, how many did you have?
2 including myself, so 3.
So 3 total? And who were the other 2?
Working that day or?
On May 24th, 2022.
Do I say their full name or?
Yes, please.
It would be Gianna Santianes and Samantha Diaz.
And were you there also?
Yes.
So there were 3 people in the room on May 24th, 2022?
Correct.
And did it become extremely busy at that time?
Yes.
At about what time did it become busy?
Probably around 11:30 in the morning.
Okay, and can you tell us what happened?
Yes. We received a 911 call stating of a accident that was near the funeral home in Uvalde, Texas.
And did you actually hear that call come in?
Yes, I was in the same room.
Okay, and when the call came in, it was a 911 call?
Correct.
And did y'all dispatch from that call?
Yes.
And who did that dispatching?
Which dispatcher dispatched it out? Samantha Diaz,
Samantha
I believe.
Diaz?
Yes.
Okay, relayed that information out to what agencies would receive that?
Uvalde Police Department.
Because it happened in the city of Uvalde.
That is correct.
Okay. And what agencies normally listen to the Uvalde Police Department channel?
That I wouldn't be able to be specific on.
Does the school district have their own channel?
No.
And so what channel are they assigned?
They could come in on either channel, which is the SO channel, the Sheriff's Office channel, or the Uvalde Police Department channel, whichever.
So just on their unit, they can turn it to either one of those channels and monitor that information.
Correct. Unless they're scanning, then they would come on either or.
And so, did the dispatch office of the Uvalde Police Department receive a subpoena for phone calls, 911 calls, as well as dispatch from the period of 11/29 to 11/36/05?
Yes.
And did you help comply with that?
Yes.
And did you, in doing that, did you include all 911 calls
Yes.
that were recorded?
Yes.
And that would be all that came in
Yes.
and stamped with a time?
Correct.
And did you also comply by putting together all the dispatch, whether from a law enforcement agency to dispatch or from dispatch back to law enforcement?
Yes, sir.
And are each of those dispatch calls, are they fair and accurate representations of what happened?
Yes, sir.
And that's the whole purpose of making the recordings. Is that
Correct. Yes, sir.
Showing you State Exhibit 1039 and 1039A. Does that appear to be the same kind of time increments that were on these dispatch calls that you provided as pursuant to the subpoena?
Yes, sir.
We'd also fix exhibit 1039 and 1039A. That's just the... No. I thought I covered this. Let me cover it a little more carefully. As far as the dispatch times that are here, these are just the times the instrument placed on the dispatch times. Is that correct?
That's the time that the 911 recording, that's the format of it, yes.
And the format is to place it on there.
Correct.
But y'all didn't make any efforts to try to synchronize this with actual time. Is that correct?
I don't recall.
Okay. I guess what I mean is, did you just lift the information and provide it to the people that issued the subpoena?
Yes.
You didn't make, nor should you, make any attempts to synchronize the times so that they were actually accurate as to real time?
No.
With that addition, Your Honor, the state offers exhibits 1039 and 1039A.
What's the word? Objection, no objection?
Yeah, Your Honor, can we approach?
Not to synchronize the times, correct?
Correct.
It's to provide the information that your instruments provide you.
That is correct.
And if somebody else synchronized that time so that it was more accurate, you would have no objection to the accuracy that they provided. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you didn't review their work,
No.
so you're not trying to comment on it, but you just don't object if a synchronized time may be different from what the instrument actually placed on.
Correct.
Is that sufficient?
Any objection?
In that case, Your Honor, we have no objection.
It's admitted.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Your witness, Mr. Hilliard.
Sorry, Judge, thank you. Good afternoon, Ms. Landry.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Good. My name's Gary Hilliard. We've
Counsel,
never
can
met.
you use the microphone?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Is that better?
Is it on?
Is that better? Okay. Ma'am, my name's Gary Hilliard. We haven't met before.
No.
No. And you know, I have some questions for you.
Okay.
I'm one of the attorneys who represents Adrian, and I have your permission to ask you some questions.
Yes.
There are no trick questions, right? I just want to ask you about your experience and your experiences leading up to the events of May the 24th, 2022.
Okay.
Is that okay? All right. So I think you said that you were a dispatcher for 6 years. Is that correct?
About, yes, sir.
So approximately, and all of your experience has been with UPD, right? Uvalde Police Department.
Correct.
So you're a dispatcher for 6 years.
Yes.
So that means basically someone phones the police, you pick up the phone, take the call, you type something into the console that the prosecutor was talking about, right?
Correct.
Decide which unit or agency is appropriate,
Yes.
Because sometimes people are calling for the fire department.
Yes.
You take those calls.
Correct.
Sometimes you need to send EMS.
Yes.
You take those calls.
Yes.
So you take the call, you notate it in your system.
Yes.
Right? And then you will transmit it, probably with a device similar to this,
Correct.
over the radio by pressing a button,
Yes.
right, and activating the appropriate unit with their call sign.
Correct.
And that's called, is that radio protocol?
Yes.
So, and would it be correct to say that you wake the other unit up first? For example, you would say, I don't know, Uvalde 123 control, or Uvalde something like that, right?
Correct.
And that would give that person, well, Uvalde 123, they're calling me,
Yes.
right, from Uvalde. And they would do the opposite.
Yes.
And that is how you know who you're dispatching, right?
Correct.
And they would acknowledge that call.
Yes.
So they would say received, control, something like that,
Yes.
according to a protocol in their training.
Correct.
And they've used, and there's code words like 1050, right? Code number
Yes.
1050. That is for a traffic accident, right?
Yes.
And you hear, you know, people see it on the TV. People say like 10-4 to confirm that they've received it,
Yes.
right? Or received.
Yes.
You hear people say Roger, right?
Yes.
I don't know why. It's just something that's developed over time, right?
Yes.
To confirm that they've heard and received.
Correct.
And that's basically how that works. And I don't know how it is now, but at the time, so you did that for 6 years, sorry.
About yes.
And then you promoted to become the supervisor.
Correct.
So would it be fair to say that being the supervisor in the dispatch, I want to call it the control room because you're in control of stuff, but in dispatch that means that you kind of got a back seat a little bit, and you are watching your dispatchers and you will help when appropriate, right?
Yes.
Is that a fair statement?
That's correct.
Right, and so the prosecutor asked you about the dispatch room and the equipment, and I would imagine they're kind of desks like this where you've got a TV screen
Yes.
or a computer screen,
Mm-hmm.
right? But would it be fair to say that back in, at the time of this incident, in the dispatch, when you received 911 calls, they were received on a telephone.
Correct.
So, you know, it's not a cell phone, right? But
Right.
someone would phone emergency, whatever that is, and one of the dispatchers would pick up a telephone and speak into it, right?
Correct.
Because the reason I ask that is that can be going on. For example, you phone me and I'm the dispatcher. I'm talking to you on the telephone,
Yes.
right? I'm the call taker, right? You
Yes.
say that person is the call taker.
Yes.
I'm the call taker in a hypothetical. And let's say, for example, I need to transmit that to a unit on the ground. I'm also the dispatcher,
Correct.
right? So because, why ask in that case? Because on some of the 911s that the prosecutor just offered, you can hear like, how would you describe it? Like crossover, if you like. You can hear the phone call and you can hear someone being dispatched on the radio.
Correct.
Right, so sometimes it's confusing to the ear, right?
Yes.
It must be confusing to you sometimes,
Yes, it can be.
but you've done it for a long time, so you've got so much experience. You can key into the voices,
Yes.
right? But so when we listen to these calls, you're going to hear someone dialing 911 and the content of that call with the dispatcher taking it, the call taker taking it, and dispatching units in the background.
Yes.
And then you can also hear sometimes the unit's response
Yes.
on the 911 call.
Correct.
So when the jury hears it, it gives them notice to listen. You're going to hear the response of the units on the ground,
Yes.
because you'll hear, for example, you'll hear there is a 911 call that is in evidence, and I'm sure you've heard it from Miss Myra. Are you aware of that one?
Possibly.
Yeah, one of the I think it's one of the ones on your. It's been put into evidence already. Yes. But we have to acknowledge they're disturbing phone calls, right?
Yes.
And this must have been a very difficult day for you, right?
Yes.
And so I come from I promise you I come from a place of respect when I ask these questions, and none of it's a criticism, right? But
Yes.
it's a disturbing phone call, and it's very sad that when you're hearing Miss Maureen talk, you can hear officers on the ground saying things, right?
Yes.
So and it's awful, and you can hear Miss Maureen describing the incident. The jury has seen the video, but and when it happened at the time, we warned the jury, but you can hear you can hear Adrian transmitting things, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, because you, sorry, Jesse, you worked in what year did you start there?
2009.
2009. So you worked and dispatched radio transmissions for Adrian for a while, right?
Yes,
Because he worked for Uvalde PD,
correct.
and then he went over to the school police, right?
Yes,
So you recognise his voice.
yes,
So I mean, we hear at least at one occasion when Mr. Marine says that the killer goes into the school. At the same time, you hear Adrian saying he's going around the west side of the building towards the school, right?
I believe so.
Remember that? Right. So at the time, there were no headphones in the control room or in the dispatch.
Correct.
Do you have them now?
No,
Still not now.
no.
Okay. And I wanted to talk to you very briefly about the timestamps on the. We say timestamps. So when someone makes a 911 call, the system automatically records it,
Correct.
right? And when you make a dispatch, the system automatically records it,
Yes,
and that, you call that a timestamp.
yes.
Right? And I believe that you said to the prosecutor they're somewhat accurate.
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Yeah, and what I mean by that is that you don't set the time on that
No.
machine, right? That's done automatically.
Correct.
So you have no knowledge how that's done.
Correct.
Right, so sometimes they can be off. Right?
Yes.
That's the point I'm trying to get at. That's why Mr. Turner asked you those questions
Okay.
a minute ago. Now that is no fault of your own, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's just the way the computer and the system works.
Yes.
Right. So, I want to talk to you about the radio transmissions that came in and the dispatch calls that came in on the day of this incident.
Okay.
Right, because you were interviewed a couple of times, right, as a result of this.
Yes.
You were interviewed by the Texas Rangers,
Yes.
right, and they asked you about certain phone calls that you supervised, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you were also interviewed later by Jesse Prado, right?
Yes.
And you'd agree the first interview was kind of short with the Texas Rangers? I
Yes.
think that was a telephone interview, right?
Correct.
And then you later spoke to Mr. Prado,
Yes.
right? And so you'd agree that, and again, have you been involved with critical incidents before?
Yes.
When I say a critical incident, what do you describe as a critical incident? Because you've been involved with them, right?
Yes.
How would you describe a critical incident?
I mean, it could vary, but suicide or just anything.
Would it be fair to say that it's multiple agencies, right?
Yes.
And lots of officers, right?
Yes.
And you have to coordinate a big response to an incident. That's also called a critical incident,
Yes.
right? And you'd agree that, in your experience, right, because you've done a lot, the prosecutor talked about your training and your experience, in a critical incident, the communications are an important piece,
Correct.
a vital piece of the response,
Yes.
right? And you're aware through your experience and being a supervisor in the dispatch that it is often communications that is highlighted, and it's nothing to do with you. I mean the systems globally that cause trouble with the operation itself,
Yes.
right? And today, on that day, there were some issues with the communication piece as well, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Because, and by the way, the 911 calls that come in, remember I said the 911 calls in here, I'm the call taker, I take the 911 call. That doesn't necessarily get transmitted out to the officer directly, right?
No, it does.
Well, it does, but the phone call doesn't get patched into the radio
Oh,
and
no.
go out.
No, it does
So
not.
it would come in, for example, I'm the dispatcher, the phone call comes to me. Well, it's not a game, it's like playing, you know what the telephone game is, right?
Right.
So the call, let's say in my hypothetical, a call comes into me, I take the phone call on the 911, and it's my interpretation of it that gets transmitted out.
Correct.
right? The 911 call, the emergency call, doesn't get patched into the officers on the scene.
Correct.
So all the officers on the scene can go by is what is sent out to them by dispatch.
Correct.
So you'd agree that sometimes there is a disparity or a difference between what is coming into the dispatch room, the call taking function, and what goes out to the officers.
It could happen.
Yeah. And so, and one of the things that can be a problem with that is an open mic, right?
Yes.
Or a hot mic,
Yes.
right? And because what we said is, I believe that there are, how many radio channels did you say were operating that day?
I mean, I believe all of my radio channels were going off at once, so if I had to guess, maybe I believe I have 12 on my radio console.
So, but if you have an open mic, that basically will cut across all the transmissions on that channel, right?
On that one channel,
On
yes.
that one channel.
Yes.
And what an open mic means, I guess, is now a radio is like a really fancy walkie-talkie, right?
Yes.
And if it's a handheld, sometimes they call it a brick, right?
Yes.
So if it's a handheld radio, it'll have a similar thing to walkie-talkie, but it's like a kid's walkie-talkie. You press the button and you talk, right?
Yes.
It'll go and then you talk.
Yes.
And that transmits. So you press the button, pause, then you transmit,
Correct.
right? An open mic or sometimes a hot mic is where someone has pressed transmit on their radio,
Yes.
right? And that means that no one else on that channel can talk.
Correct.
And that must be terribly frustrating for you.
Yes.
Right, and that can be for a variety of reasons. I guess police officers, we met one a minute ago, we've all seen them, wear a lot of equipment,
Yes.
and sometimes if they've got their radio attached to their belt, because they sometimes do if they're just using the brick, right,
Correct.
you can even lean and transmit.
Yes.
So what you would need to do is go on another channel, right, presumably, and say, units, you've got an open mic.
Yes.
Tell them,
Yes.
right, because that's if you can identify the radio.
Yes.
So you might, if I was one of your officers, you might be able to identify the radio that's associated with me.
Possibly, yes.
Possibly. So you'd be able to go onto another channel and say, hey, if someone's near him, tell him he's got an open mic.
Yes.
Right? But in this incident, because so many people were coming, would it be fair to say it was one of the longest open mics you've ever experienced?
Yes.
Yeah. And again, this is not, and that's nothing to do with you, right?
No.
But this is just your experience in dispatch.
Yes.
So that means that that creates problems for you and your system sending messages out
Yes.
and confirming whether or not they've been received,
Correct.
right? Because you for example, you without, because the reason I asked you about the protocol for the radio, you call me and you wake my call sign up and I say received. That's the only way you know if I've received that communication or not.
Correct.
Right? Otherwise, you just don't know, right?
Right.
You don't know when that was going to, and that happened a lot during this incident, right?
Yes.
You were trying to relay some very important information about some of the phone calls contained on the government's evidence, right?
Yes.
And you said throughout, you've been consistent throughout your interviews, I think you said you tried and you kept trying to say, look, this is important, you need to know this. But there was an open microphone, so you never know who received it.
Correct.
Because normally you would say, whatever, you would say, Uvalde to all units, we're taking this phone call, and then you relay the information, right?
Yes.
And then you'd say, right, 1, 2, 3 received. So you'd know that 1, 2, 3, unit 1, 2, 3 has received that information.
Yes.
On several occasions with some vital information that could have helped officers on the ground, in this case, you could not confirm if anyone heard it.
Correct.
Right. But what we can confirm is at the beginning of this incident, it came in as I think you said there was a 911 call to a 1050. Is it 1050?
Yes.
And that's a traffic accident.
Yes.
And so that would be UPD, Uvalde PD's jurisdiction.
Yes.
In fact, you dispatched an officer to that, right?
Correct.
And that was Randy Hill. Is that correct?
I don't remember.
If I represent to you that you dispatched a UPD officer called Randy Hill to that incident, would you have any reason to doubt it?
No.
No. Because that's his jurisdiction.
Correct.
Right, that's probably his patrol area.
Possibly.
Right? But you also know that Adrian volunteered to go.
Yes.
Remember that he broke He broke, and when I say break, that means he went on his radio, transmit, pressed the button, transmit, said, I'm coming as well. Words to that effect.
Yes.
Right? So he volunteered to go to that call.
Believe so.
Yeah, and he didn't have to, right?
I mean, I guess I don't.
No, I mean, because the reason I say he didn't have to is because, he's going to a traffic accident, but that is someone else's jurisdiction. He could have, I don't know, just let someone else go and deal with it. Right?
Correct.
He volunteered to go to it. Right?
Yes.
But we know it was on the corner of Geraldine and kind of Grove, but that's right on the edge of the jurisdiction of the school.
Correct.
And of course, Adrian has jurisdiction across the whole state of Texas, but that's specifically one of the places that he works. Right?
Yes.
You have to say yes or no
Yes,
to
sorry.
that. And so, but he was nearby at the park with the high school. Did you know that?
No.
And I say he, I mean Adrian. He volunteered to come. He came from the thing with the high schoolers, and he came because you would agree that there are, in this area, there have been, I think we've heard evidence, there were 50 bailouts between February and March. February and April in this area, right?
Yes.
And
About.
of course, you're involved in coordinating the efforts for that as well, right?
Correct.
So one of the reasons was that a lot of these bailouts have gone in or towards the school. Well, you know that.
Yes.
And so one of the reasons Adrian volunteered was to get to that scene to do that, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. And so I think we've spoken about the communication problems that we experienced on the day. Are you also aware that, would you agree that, or were you aware that sometimes there were communication problems at the school with radios not breaking?
Yes.
And when I say radios not breaking, that's almost like sometimes, let me draw an analogy or like an example, right? Sometimes you're in a building and you can't use your cell phone
Correct.
because you don't got signal.
Yes.
And it's the same as that.
Correct.
So you're aware that sometimes in that school, around the environment of that school, officers couldn't break, they couldn't transmit.
Not just in that school, but in all the schools, anybody.
In all the schools?
Yes.
All right, so in all the schools in Uvalde, sometimes officers couldn't transmit.
Correct.
So they would have to go outside
Yes.
to transmit,
Yes.
right? And that's a common practice.
Yes.
So I'm allowed to walk around, so if I was in the school and I wanted to transmit to the dispatch, I would have to go outside and then radio.
Yes.
Because I've got to get, for some reason, you've got to get away from the building in order to communicate with the dispatch,
Correct.
to give you vital information,
Yes.
and also to receive vital information.
Yes.
Because if I can't break, I can't receive.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And then, were you also aware? Were you also aware that sometimes officers were dispatched via WhatsApp because of that problem?
I don't recall.
No. Go ahead, Judge. Possible.
Just a couple of questions. There was a long period of an open mic, is that correct?
Yes.
That was not within this first 5 or 6 minutes, though, that you provided as part of this subpoena, is that correct?
Correct.
So this open mic has nothing to do with the dispatches that you provided and we have just introduced into evidence.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Very briefly, Judge. And about these open mics, so have you got a timestamp on the recordings for when the open mic starts?
Yes.
There is. But you also agree and I think it was one of your colleagues said it was one of the longest open mics you'd ever seen or heard.
Correct.
Right, maybe up to 15 minutes.
Possibly.
Yeah, 15 minutes of cut across any radio transmissions.
Correct.
So, yeah, and this is 15. When you say 15 minutes, it doesn't sound like a long time, right?
No.
It's out 15 minutes, 15 minutes. But everyone can agree that in an incident like this, every second counts. Right?
Correct.
Government- Every witness we speak to, we say every second counts.
Every second counts.
Right, so if an officer has to leave the building to break or transmit, that is time lost.
Yes.
And if an officer is in a position where they need to leave the building, that means they've gone into the building, right?
Yes.
Kind of logically.
Yes.
If I've gone into the building and I can't break, I need to leave in order to call for backup,
Yes.
right? I would need to leave in order to call for SWAT,
Yes.
like Adrian did, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. I've just got a couple more questions, Ms. Landry. So, am I right in saying your husband is Officer Landry from UPD?
Yes.
And he did you dispatch him to Robb that day?
Not specifically.
Did dispatch your dispatch that you were supervising dispatch him?
Not specifically.
Okay. Well, ma'am, I honestly, respectfully, thank you so much for your efforts, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
No further questions.
Okay, she excused, not subject to recall.
Yes, sir. And no. So she can be released, Judge.
Okay. All right, you are released from the subpoena and you are not subject to recall. Thank you very much. You take off.